Our other big story today, the new concerns that we could be on the road to another global financial meltdown. There are hundreds of employees at big firms, some part of special teams that have been formed. They're all on standby for tomorrow, awaiting the results of Greece's pivotal election. We're told they're preparing for the worst case scenario. Rich DeSalvo, former managing director for Morgan Stanley, joining us now. I wish it was a more encouraging and optimistic topic, Rich, because you always bring us happy news, too. But this is pretty scary stuff, and all the big companies are preparing for the worst. What does that mean?
Well, think of it this way, that when you have tomorrow, Sunday's election, if the austerity political area wins, what you're going to see is the market will actually do very well and spike up. However, to your earlier points, Jamie, if the anti-austerity department wins, and they were gaining a lot of momentum before this election, if that happens, you're going to see a drop. And I don't want to say the sky is falling, give me chick a little here, Jamie, but heads up. The banks are going to have some losses or some concerns that never existed even 6 months ago.
How much U.S. money is tied up in this?
Literally billions. For example, Citi is about $84 billion, to give you an example. And the other major wirehouses or banks are actually of the similar size. And the real issue, Jamie, is the dollar that they have. They're expecting, if they invested $1, that they would get €1 in return. Now it's possible, in this example with Greece on Sunday, they may get a drachma, which is their old currency from 10 years ago, a drachma in return. Now, a drachma 10 years ago was about 250 drachmas was $1. You're not going to get 250 of those back. It's going to be a devalued number.
Is there anything they can do now, the banks, at this late moment? I mean, these elections will take place tomorrow.
No, this is one of the hard parts is it's out of their control. All they can do is react to the problem and, frankly, try to limit the noise afterwards. You don't even know yet how do you even book your losses, if there are even any. This is going to create extreme volatility in the markets over the next few months. Not that it wasn't going to happen anyway. I think it's now going to be exacerbated due to this issue.
And if you're the average investor, what do you do?
I would tell you, if you're in the market, stay in the market. If you're not in the market, don't go in. This is not a market timing game. That's not what the typical investor is. Don't necessarily be emotional and fall in love with your investments and read a headline. If you have a prudent financial plan that you put together years ago, be consistent and stay with it. Jamie, if you start trying the old market timing, it's a fool's game.
But how do you compare this to other economic times that we've been challenged by? Because if you are diversified, which is the rule that we're all taught, and you dollar cost average, you continue to put money in at whatever the rate is at the time for what you're buying. That used to be a strategy that would see you through anything. Is this included, or is this something much more serious?
It's something much more serious, because what you're talking about, Jamie, and you're right, in prudent planning, there was something there where you put your dollars in over time, and what happened was things were what's called non-correlated. So if a certain stock kind of went up, another one went down, but you went, at the end of the day, you were higher than when the dollars you put in. That doesn't happen anymore. So what you have to do is what's really called tactical asset allocation. And that's a whole other point of conversation, but when your dollars are in, you need the right kind of manager who will tactically look at your dollars and help you, not market time, but help you through this process. And it's a different time than it was even 10 years ago, to your point of your question.
I imagine that those tactical advisors, their phones are ringing off the hook this weekend. Rich, thanks for the insight. We'll all keep an eye on our money, as we have to through this election.
You got it, Jamie.
And we're going to have all the coverage on that tomorrow here on Fox. Thanks, Rich.
Okay, you're welcome.